What's going on, everybody? Caleb back with Reviews Like a Sir. And today we are going over the triple V2 RTA by VapingWithTwisted420, made by VapingRate. Now, this is actually the second recording of this because some new things have come to light. So we'll go over those in just a minute. But for now, why don't we give you a close-up? And then let's dive down and take a closer look at the triple V2 RTA. Let's get it. Alright, this is how your packaging is going to come in this little tube. Got your scratch and sniff and some specifics on the back. Airflow, how that works. Take it off, and inside is your triple V2. We'll go over that in just a sec. You pull this little plug out, you have your goodies. You have a baggie. It's gonna have a little Barbie screwdriver, some extra screws for your posts, some extra O-rings, and it will have an Allen key in there, but that has already been used. You also have a wire clipping tool for different lengths. Also, you'll have another tube inside your tube. Quality pass. A manual that I'm not going to read. And last but not least, an extra clear tip, drip tip, 810 style, and an extra clear glass. Now let's go over the mod real quick. You have a blue 810 drip tip, black O-ring on the inside, very nice. Quick top fill right there. Just push where the arrow says. You unscrew it. And this section right here is all one piece. Very nice matte black finish. Very nice finish on the inside, no burrs or anything else. Take your bubble glass off, which is also very nice, I might add. Then you have your deck. Look at all that airflow and places to put 3 different coils in there. I've already put a build through this, so be very careful you don't over wick. Does not wick well if you overstuff these ports right here. O-ring popped off. That's okay. Just pop it back down. Like that. Without further ado, guys, I think it's time for a little build montage. Up and I'll see y'all back up top. Alright guys, we are back up top with the triple V2. So you saw some stuff in the close-ups, you saw the build, and to be perfectly honest, that is not actually the build that I have in here. What I have in here currently is a dual coil sleeper build, or basically you make one coil, you cross the wire, and then you wrap the other coil, and it's all one wire. We're sitting at, I don't know if y'all can see, 1.06 ohms at 46.5 watts. So here's some vapor production, and then we will go over everything about this RTA. Okay, so let's go over a few things. Something that we missed in the up close, you won't be able to see it, but in there, there's actually a little silicone divider slash isolation block for the positive pin in there. And I think it also keeps the airflow from colliding with each other. I don't know what its purpose actually is. I'm just guessing that it is an isolation block for the positive pin. Now, to go over, this is actually build number 5 I've had in here. I've done a single, but massive single. I did an 8-wrap, 4mm inner diameter Clapton build. I've done the triple one that y'all saw in there, or in the up close time. I've done 2 different dual coil builds, and then I've come to this one, so this is build number 5. This thing is finicky on the wicking. Now, I've wicked it loose, I've wicked it tight, looser. You're gonna leak a little bit through the sides. Actually, tighter, you're not gonna leak, but it's going to dry hit quite a bit. What I have in here is the best that I've gotten so far. Let me just show you. I'll do a couple little chain vapes. You get the picture. This is 6mg juice, so 7's as far as I'm going to go, but it was not getting dry at all. This is wicked very, very loose, but at the same time, the bottom channel is, the wick is sparse, but I flattened it in the channel to cover up the wick ports, if that makes sense. It's the best wicking method that I've been able to come up with for the triple V2. Like I said, it either gets really dry if you wick it too tight, or if you don't wick it enough, it starts leaking just ever so slightly. So that's con number 1. Con number 2, and this is subjective, it's not very different from the triple V1. Now, I personally love this RTA, but it's not that different than its predecessor. So a lot of people are going to see that as a con. Why should I get this triple V2 when the triple V1 was good? And it's not that big of a difference. Now, for con number 3 is the airflow looks massive, but if you don't wick this right, if you don't place your coils just right, it's not that much airflow. And that might be a con to somebody. It's a con to me because this thing is absolutely massive. It's 28mm. So, yeah. Last subjective con is this is a 28mm RTA. Now, a lot of people do not have devices that will fit a 28 or a 30mm. So that might be a con to some people. Now, onto the pros. The filling method, super, super easy. The amount of juice this holds, I think it holds close to 10 mils. That is substantial, and I love it. I can go a whole day with 1 tank if I don't chain vape like I just did, and if your build is correct. So those are both positives. The overall look, I love the matte. It doesn't get overly streaky. It's easy to clean, which is a big, big plus for me because you know I hate matte finishes on things that are easily, it's hard to get the juice off or get the juice to not show. So the overall look is con number 3. And then the fact that it comes with 2 different glass options and a couple different drip tips is a pro for me as well. It might not be a pro to you because you might expect it by now. And then the last pro is the price point of this RTA. Now the Sherman V2 retails quite high. I think it's around $100. It might be between 80 and 90, probably. Maybe between 70 and 100 if you can, depending on where you find it. This is about $30 to $35 depending on which color option you choose. So that is a very, very big pro. Now, weighing the pros and cons and the flavor on this, the flavor is also a pro in my opinion. I still enjoy it over my Sherman. Now, originally I was going to rate this about an 8 in my RTA category because I didn't know about some of the cons and I've used it a little bit more since my first recording. So I'm going to drop the rating down to a 7, 7.5. Some of the cons just are a little finicky and annoying. You got to get the wicking down right. you got to get your coil placement correct if you're going to vape this properly. But once you get those down, this thing has amazing flavor, and the options with which you can build your coils on here are substantial. So 7.5, that is my rating, and just for you, Twisted420, vaping saves more lives than the amount of 18650s used in Tesla cars. We'll see you guys next time on Reviews Like a Sir. Peace.